Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. We are going to be sliding into the new year with this collaboration hosted by Tina at Life in the Piedmont. Sliding into the new year. Doesn't that sound like a great collaboration to y'all? I know it does to me. We love sliders around our home, and I do have to make up some make-ahead breakfast sliders for my husband to take to his job. Who all are the content creators in this collaboration? I'm going to tell you. Life in the Piedmont, that's Miss Tina, Jamie at Jamie's Country Living, me, the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, Heather over at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms, Nancy at Our Treasured Home, Lowe's Family Adventures, Adrian at Indiana Backyard Gardener, Talus Treasures, Simply Jan Homestead, Another Time 2023, and Mountain Grandma. We are all going to be dropping our videos simultaneously, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a playlist. Once the playlist is formed, I will attach it to this video in the description box below, along with a list of all these channels so that y'all can go check out all of this great content and get some ideas for some sliders for your events that you have coming up. So today I am making a sausage breakfast slider, and it calls for 8 eggs, 1 pound of sausage crumbled, and I'm going to cook the sausage and eggs today. I'm going to assemble my sliders, and then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator, and in the morning I'm going to take them out and get them baked up and sent over to my husband's job. So it also calls for salt and pepper, shredded cheese of your choice, about a half cup of milk or cream. That just adds a little bit more volume to your eggs. You're going to bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit in your oven, and you're going to bake them for 15 to 20 minutes. Let's get busy. Because I'm doing a double batch, I have already pre-greased my little square pan. You can use an oblong pan if you don't have a square one. That's perfectly fine because you can stack those eggs on top of each other on those sliders. So this is greased with butter, and I've got 2 pans ready because I'm making a double batch. I'm using Old South breakfast sausage. This is a 1 pound roll. It's still slightly frozen, but I'm going to crumble it up in my skillet. I'm going to get both packages cooked, and then we'll divide it between the 2 pans. The easiest way I have found to unwrap this sausage is to slice it this direction and then go all the way around the entire package in the opposite direction. And then I'm just going to roll it back and get it dropped into my skillet. So I've got that end off. And it's in the skillet now. All right, while I'm going to get this sausage defrosted and cooked, I've got my eggs washed and ready to go. And I'm going to put 8 eggs in my bowl. We're going to start with 8 because we're dividing this between 2 pans, and I want to make sure that I have equal amounts in each one. Aren't those yolks beautiful, y'all? Our chickens roam our yard every day. They're pasture raised. Six. 7. 8. So I've got 8 eggs in here, and I pulled out a cup of whole raw milk. This has the cream and everything in it. I'm going to pour half of that into my bowl. And we're going to break up these yolks, and we're going to get them mixed. So half a cup of cream or whole milk, either one. You don't want any white showing once your eggs are incorporated, or as little as possible. And it may take you a few minutes to break up all of those yolks. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. We're just going to set this over on that bowl. I'm going to pull my first pan over, and we're going to pour our eggs into the bowl, or into our casserole. I did turn my burner down because I don't want my sausage cooking and burning. So let's get the other half of these done. I would say 8 medium to large eggs is what you would be looking for this recipe, depending on how thick of an egg you want on your sliders. So we've got those cracked. We're going to get the rest of this cream in there. Get those egg yolks broke up. And that looks pretty good to me. We're going to get the other pan filled and get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Okay. I also have my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, I have got my sausage cooked and strained to make sure that I got all my meat. And I'm just going to go back and forth until I have all the meat into my pans. It's going to be okay if the sausage sinks into the eggs. You want it to sink in a little bit because it holds together better that way. And this is approximately 4 cups of crumbled sausage between the 2 pans. So about 2 cups per pan. And I still have some oil in the bottom, so I'm going to try to get as much of that meat off of there as I possibly can. And the rest of this will go into my grease that I save for other days. So I've got it in here. And you can use a little strainer to make sure that you don't have any meat in your finished rendering off of your sausage. So I've got that done. I'm just going to let that sit on my counter and cool. I am going to take a spatula or a spoon and just kind of work that in a little bit into the egg because I want to make sure that it's evenly distributed. These are going to go into my oven for between 20 and 30 minutes until the center comes out clean with a toothpick. And then I will be assembling my sliders and getting them into the refrigerator. Alright, the easiest way that I have found to slice these is to actually freeze them first. And we're going to save the cardboard and the bag because our slider is going to go back in there overnight. And then we'll have great sliders for the guys. So I've got 2 packages here, and you want to turn this. You're going to put your knife about halfway through and slowly cut through your sliders. You get cleaner cuts this way, and this little bread knife comes in really handy for doing sliders. So the first ones are cut in half. I'm going to set that back in the box and put it back in the bag until I'm ready to use these. I am actually just going to set these in the refrigerator until I'm ready for them. And don't worry if you don't get it evenly cut. That's no biggie on these. So that's the first bag. And I'm getting ready for the second bag. So you could store these in the freezer, in the bag, in the box, until you're ready to serve them. And then you would just pull them out, heat your oven up, and bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes. And we're done. Simple as that, folks. Simple as that. Alrighty, they are out of the oven and perfectly cooked. There's a little bit of grease on top. If you're worried about the grease, you can take a paper towel and kind of dab them. I'm going to be using some Mexican style shredded cheese. It's Monterey Jack, cheddar, queso, quesadilla, and asadero cheese. From cows, not treated with RBST. A good source of calcium. It's a 12-ounce package, so about 6 ounces per one of these casserole dishes full of your egg mixture, your sausage and eggs. And I'm just going to allow this to sit for a few minutes and cool off before I form my sandwiches. So that will be the next step. And then we will put them in the refrigerator and allow them to sit overnight. So all the way around the edges, making sure I've covered every inch of these with that cheese. And there they are. They're going to be cooled, and then we'll get these assembled. We are ready to assemble. I'm so excited. So I'm going to take the top off because they're still frozen. They lift off really easy. So we're just going to set that aside. And I'm going to start by cutting this one section this way. And I'm going to put it on there in pieces. So you want to go around the edge and kind of loosen your eggs up. And you know that they're ready to go because your cheese is now melted on top of your eggs. And it will remelt when you heat them up, making them really, really good. I may go ahead and just cut this into lots and lots of sections. So that probably will be the best. So we're going to start with one edge, and y'all see the layers in there? That is going to be so, so delicious for these guys. And we're just going to get those eggs plopped on there. And I may have to cut my squares to fit, but that's all right. We're just going to go with it. It's stringy. We're going to cut this one in half. Get that in there. Really just kind of maneuvering it to get it all into the casserole dish, into the box. And if it doesn't all fit, that's okay too. But there it is. I've got a little taste here I can do a taste test with. We're going to go ahead and put the top back on here. Squish, squish, squish it down. And get it bagged up and back into our refrigerator or your freezer. Now tomorrow, when I take these out, I may go ahead and cut them apart and having a little trouble getting my bag back over. There we go. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting it started. So they are in the bag, ready for the freezer or the refrigerator. And tomorrow morning, I'll get up and I'll preheat my oven, get these on a cookie sheet that's on the little cookie racks, you know, that you put your cookies on or your cakes on to cool them down. I'm going to cook them on top of that so that the bottoms don't get soggy. So there is that. Well, good morning everybody, and we are back in the kitchen this morning. I'm going to get these out of the packages and onto my cookie sheet that is lined with my cake racks that I use to cool off cakes and cookies. And I'll be throwing away the paper and the plastic after this because I don't need it any longer. We're going to get this into the preheated oven of 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. They're out of the oven. I'm going to try to slide these over. Take my knife, and I always do it long ways first. And we have them separated. So would you like a slider? Yum, yum, folks. I'm going to get these packed up. I thank you for watching. This is Sliding in the New Year, hosted by Tina at Life in the Piedmont. Y'all go check out all the other videos. Be blessed, everybody, and